And then they would get in the center and it's like, yeah, all that turnout was sponsored by the bar. Hey dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. Speaking of confidence, let's talk about how to show up to your summer intensive or company auditions or even university program auditions with confidence. I've made so many videos in the past about audition tips, and I think I just really want to zero in on how to do so with confidence in this video. So stay tuned for these really helpful tips. I know that these aren't tips that you'll hear very often, but I really believe you need to hear them. So coming from a mindset coach for dancers, we're going to be touching on the mindset. How do you prepare yourself mentally to really go in there with confidence that will help you to stand out, perform your best, and feel great in the process? So if you're into that kind of thing, which I think you should be, let's keep on with this video. The first thing I want to share is the importance of owning that you will not be for everybody, and you don't need to be better than everybody to get great results from your audition. One of my friends said years and years ago, I went to a company audition with her, and at the end of it, we both got cut, and she said, well, you can't win them all. I just never forgot that. And it's so true. Sometimes we get so caught up in everyone has to like us. I have to stand out. I have to get attention. I have to get into every program or else I'll be insecure that I'm not doing well enough. Then that is just getting yourself way too attached to particular outcomes and making too much meaning out of it. Some of the best dancers in the world have gotten rejected from different programs and companies. Every single dancer, no matter how famous they are, has been for some programs and companies and not for others. That's part of having a personal brand as a dancer. We're going to be for some programs and not for others, and that is totally okay. So own that fact, and it will help you to just release the outcome. And then also realizing that sometimes as dancers, we could get so caught up in like, oh, I hope I stand out. I hope I'm one of the better dancers in the room. And then if we aren't, if we feel like right off the bat, we walk into the audition and everyone has like a rockin' body who's standing in the line to get their numbers, we can already discount ourselves and say, oh no, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm not one of the best here. This isn't going to go very well. Okay, you are projecting that. You have no idea how these people dance. You also have and even if you think they do, there are so many times where I've been in an audition and I used to let myself get so intimidated by certain dancers who had the rockin' body, and then they would take bar and they would have like 190 degrees of turnout, and then they would get in the center and it's like, yeah, all that turnout was sponsored by the bar. Okay? And I don't say that to be judgy, but it's just, that's the fact. Okay, their stability wasn't great, and I had this image in my head of like, oh my gosh, they're gonna get in the center and be so better. Whereas maybe my bar didn't look that great, but I really shined in the center. So just realize that you don't even know how people dance. You don't even know what the company or the program is looking for, and you don't even have to be the best one in the room technically to excel and get a great result. Like, good technique can look multiple different ways. The adjudicators could be looking for a certain look, a certain style, a certain age or type of dancer, and you might think like, what the heck, this dancer is just the best, and then you get in and they don't. You don't know what they're looking for, so just own that you don't know that. That's okay. Go in there and do your best and own what you do have to offer. Point number 2 is remember that whatever experience you have in this audition and whatever results come from it, it is always going to be a growth opportunity that will help you to get to your next best step. No one is going to arrive. Even if you get in the audition and it's a summer program audition, they give you a full scholarship to SAB and you're like, yes, I am a superstar in ballet, I've arrived. No, you haven't. You have not. I have known people. I grew up with dancers who, got into SAB, the flashy stuff. I ended up going professional and she didn't. We just don't know. I felt like the total underdog, didn't get into SAB, didn't get into PMB, whatever. And I made so much meaning out of it at the time. Don't do that. Whether you get into the company or the program or not, every single time you go to an audition, I like to use the metaphor of you are walking into an open door to see where it leads. Like actually going into the audition is a process of opening a door and seeing, is this a fit this year? If not this year, maybe next year. Don't close that door on yourself. I got so wigged out that I didn't get into SAB the first year that I never auditioned again. Like maybe I would have the second year. So don't count yourself out. Give yourself a chance and realize every action you take to move forward is getting you closer and preparing you for your next best step. So don't limit yourself by thinking, if I get in, that's good, and if I don't, that's bad. It's all working in your favor if you let it. Point number 3 is to get really clear on your personal qualities that stand out as a dancer. And in these coming months, preparing for your auditions and in the auditions, practice emphasizing those skills and building them up instead of spending so much energy and so much of your focus on looking at what are your flaws, how do you fix them, how do you hide them. By doing that, by focusing on what's wrong and trying to make it right, that's all good and all that. It's a part of the improvement process, yes. But if you spend a majority of your energy focusing on that, you will naturally be more prone to feeling insecure. That's going to show in your body language. And I'll talk about body language in a second, so I won't go on too much of a tangent there, but body language is extremely important. If you focus on your shining qualities, and I mean compared to your other qualities, not compared to other dancers. So let's say your leg goes to 100 degrees in a développé, à la seconde, but someone else goes to 130. Just because theirs is at 130 doesn't mean that adagio can't be your strength. Maybe it's the combination where you feel the most beautiful. It shines as a great quality in your dancing compared to other combinations you do. That is still valid. So look at the qualities, the movements, the artistic qualities that you appreciate about your own dancing, the technical things that shine, the combinations you really stand out in, and focus on cultivating and building up those shining qualities, and then make it your mission in the audition to really share those, not prove, share. Point number 4 is to remember that mistakes will happen. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Don't freak out like, oh, I hope I don't make a mistake. It will, you will, it will happen. And that's totally okay. It's how you will respond to the mistake that matters. So go ahead and normalize that in your mind. It's going to take out so much of the nervousness, the fear, the anxiety, because a lot of those nerves are centered around the fear of making a mistake. But when you normalize that it's going to happen and you take the mistake off of its huge pedestal to ruin your whole audition, it does not have that power. It only has the power that you give it. Remember that. So instead, just normalize it. Mistakes happen. And ask yourself, how can I practice getting really good at making mistakes and recovering like a pro? Like it didn't even happen. Okay? Make it your mission in your classes preparing for these auditions, not to make no mistakes, but rather focus on, like I said, getting really good at recovering, moving on. Don't let it show on your face. Just plie deeper, smile bigger, just go. And the more you get really comfortable with smoothing out the mistakes and recovering really well, the more you realize that mistake probably was undetectable to most people. Or it also shows you off so well in these auditions to make a mistake and to not be rattled by it. It shows so much confidence, and it's really super impressive because that's what professionals do. Professionals make mistakes. They're just really good at making it look like they're not. So practice that skill and it will be so confidence building for you. Point number 5 is that the more you practice trust in the outcomes, the experience, in yourself, and just the growth and learning opportunity that auditioning is, the more you go into it with trust, like this is working for me, not against me. I do have something to offer. This is getting me one step closer to my dreams and goals. Practice trust in as many areas as you can. When you come into it with that really trusting mentality, and you also take the audition process off its huge pedestal of like, it's so scary. Whatever results I get define me as a dancer. No, they don't. You know how many dancers I know who are beautiful dancers and who are dancing professionally now, but they went through a whole year where they didn't have a contract because none of their auditions panned out. But instead of quitting, they didn't let that define them and they moved forward. I know several dancers like that. I know several dancers who didn't get into the flashy summer programs or the university they wanted or the company they wanted, but then they end up finding something that was better for them. They just didn't let it define them. I think it is so confidence building when we come into the audition process with acceptance and trust, that acceptance of, I don't know what the results are going to be, and that's totally fine, but I trust that this is a great exercise for me. Like I said, it is working for me. It is getting me closer to where I want to go. That faith and that trust is so important. And then again, taking the audition process off its pedestal. It doesn't have to be so big and scary. It's a ballet class, okay? Treat it like a master class. I used to love doing that. Anytime I would go into auditions, especially company auditions, I would, instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. Like, you guys, don't get me wrong. I felt pressure when I was a senior in college, and I felt like this is my one audition season to prove that my whole life's work as a dancer is going to pay off. Hello, yes, there was pressure. But when I said, okay, when I think about that, it terrifies me and I freak out and I can't dance well. So no, I'm not going to focus on that. Instead, I really focused on every audition I went to. I was like, this is a masterclass. This is a great opportunity to be around other dancers. This is a great chance to get into a new city, get exposed to new things. And I was just practicing trust. And as many things I can switch in my mind to make it feel like it's not a big deal, that would just help me to perform so much better. For some people, maybe that doesn't feel like the approach, but I just noticed like the more I make things a big deal, the more I freak out, and then I can't dance well, I can't speak well, or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So just whatever you need to tell yourself to be like, this is not a big deal. You can do this. I think that will really help build your confidence. Hey there, I hope you're really enjoying this video. I just want to briefly chat with you about the fact that today enrollment has officially opened for the Confident Dancer Collective. This is my signature group coaching program that's 6 weeks long. It will be starting the first week of January, and it's really designed for you if you are tired of struggling with self-doubt, insecurities, and fears, and just being in your head when you're dancing, and you want to develop real confidence that feels true to you, that allows you to dance your best and feel your best consistently. Well, first, I want that for you. And if you also love to grow in a group setting and get connected with like-minded dancers who are there to encourage you, cheer you on, and also to learn from them, then the Confident Dancer Collective is for you. So you can learn more about this program and enroll now. Spots are limited to 20 dancers by just going and clicking the link in the description. Go to theconfidentdancer.com where you can learn more about all the details of the Confident Dancer Collective and enroll. So your spot is secured, and I cannot wait to see all you dancers in the program and just really to start the year off on a beautiful note with each of you. We'll be getting on group calls over Zoom every week. You'll have lots of materials that will help inform you on the exact process for building confidence. So it's not confusing, it's totally clear, and it fills you with hope like, yes, I can be a confident dancer too. I don't have to be the best dancer in the room. I don't have to be a professional dancer to feel good about myself. No, no, no. You will learn through this program just how accessible confidence is for you and exactly how to get there. So I'm really excited to be with you guys in this program. Again, click the link in the description where you can learn more and enroll today. And I can't wait to see you in there. All right, let's go on with the rest of the video. Point number 6 is about body language. So in order to feel confident in your auditions and also to present yourself as a confident dancer, it is really, really important to demonstrate open, calm, confident body language. We all know what this is. If you just think about a confident person in your mind, you know that they stand like this. Every time I go to speak to groups of dancers all over the world about confidence, I ask them, what does a confident dancer stand like? And everyone sits up in their chair and they do this. Everyone does the same thing. And you guys, The mind and body are in this feedback loop with each other. If you change your mind to feeling more confident, it comes out in your body language. If you shift your body language to look and feel more confident, it affects your mind. It works. It's a two-way street, you guys. So go in there and practice this in your ballet classes. Get used to doing this. You know, when we get insecure or scared or nervous, we go like this. Yeah, we all know our body language shrinks. Our vision goes from peripheral to foveal. That literally, foveal vision ignites the stress response in the body. It literally takes blood flow from your extremities and pops them to the vital organs because it signals to your body, go into fight or flight, you're in danger, you're in stress. So instead, if you open yourself up, have that calm, confident body language, you will feel so much better. If you keep your gaze open and lifted, that will help you get out of your mind and in the moment, and so many other things. It'll also really help you stand out. So demonstrate that calm, comfortable body language and put a high value on sharing your personality, not just your perfection. No, because none of us are perfect. Share your personality and that will go a really long way. Next, go into the auditions with an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. So an abundance mindset is the belief that there is more than enough, that you have everything you need and more, that whatever you're looking for is out there. You know, those are a few examples of it. It's so important, you guys, and life-changing to have an abundance mindset because it is actually true. We live in an abundant world, and the more we focus on that scarcity mindset of there aren't any spots out there, there are no contracts out there, it's so competitive, what happens? We get so discouraged that we actually disqualify ourselves from going out for those opportunities. You know it's true. You know it's true, okay? But when you go out there and you're like, the perfect opportunity for me is out there, it's like knocking at my door. It's right out there. I'm going to go put myself out there to be connected with it. I did that for my company auditions, summer programs. It's true. It's true. You guys, I was never the best dancer in the room. Never. No. But it is so true. The more you have the abundance mindset in every area of your life, you actually are able to see the opportunities that were always there, but when you're in the scarcity mindset, you can't see them. That scarcity mindset is there's not enough. We live in a competitive world. We have to fight for scarce resources. The ballet industry, dance world, whatever, is full of the scarcity mindset, but it's not true. Okay, it might seem true, but focusing on it, how does that help you? So stay in the abundance mindset. Next, go into your auditions with the intention to share what you have to offer, not prove and seek to be liked, okay? So instead of going into the auditions with this perspective of, I hope they like me, I hope I can prove myself, I hope I'm good enough to be accepted, that is not a powerful, energetic position to come from. I think I keep putting stuff that should be paid content into my free YouTube videos, so I don't say that to be prideful, I just say that to say, I hope that you guys are really putting this into practice and valuing this information because this stuff changes lives. So I just want you to know that. And I'm happy to share it, obviously. So anyway, instead of going there in this very disempowered position, like, I hope I'm enough for you, basically. No, you go in there from an abundant, generous position energetically. It's, I have something to share. I'm going to generously share it and see if this opportunity is a mutual fit. If I want to go to your summer program, if I want to go to your university program, if it is a mutual fit with me and this company, okay? That's not coming from a prideful place of like, are you good enough for me? No, but don't let the auditioners be in that standpoint with you either. Okay, the last point I will make is there is both more that goes into the auditioners' choices and less at the same time, and I'll explain that. So don't read into it too much. Don't take it personally. I know that sounds maybe like a lot to ask, but there are times where I literally got some inside intel that, for example, at the San Francisco Ballet, I have this friend they were very interested in giving her a contract, but she heard, it was something like, we're looking for a blonde dancer who's 5'4". You're great, but that's what we're looking for. it wasn't personal. Like sometimes you just don't know. And it's not about how good or bad you are as a dancer. You just don't know. In a way, there's more to the story and less to the story than you think. It wasn't this big story of like, oh, because your toes are too short and they don't look pointed, that, you know, they didn't pick you. No, sometimes it's really not, it's not personal. Now, I can't say that 100% because I don't know every situation, maybe it is, but it rarely is, I'll say that. And so just remember that you just don't know all that's going into the decision. It's not that about you in a way. So I think it's helpful to keep that in mind. It can be reassuring. And it can just keep you open-minded to say, you know, I'm not going to read into that too much. I'm just going to learn from whatever I can with that audition experience and go into the next one bigger and better, baby, you know? That was a lot of valuable information. So I do highly recommend that you watch this video again. Take notes on it, really put it into practice. And I know for a fact that this will really, really help you go into your auditions a lot more confidently. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this and share it with other dancers that you would also like to encourage with this insight. And I will see you next week. Bye.